want to show you how I use this songwriting method to write this song.
I walk to the water, the river looks so clean, I don't know where I'm going to. I walk with the stream, I talk to myself about nothing. The water speaks to my soul, and I don't know where I'm going to. The stream might lead me home.
The more songs that you write, the more experienced you're going to become as a songwriter. But there isn't always something to write about. So this method, it's kind of like a template or a guide that you can use, and every time you use it, it's different. So the first thing you're gonna need is a song that inspires you in some way, and it doesn't matter what that song is. The song that I chose to use was Ben Kaplan's Down to the River.
I went down to the river, flowing out onto the sea, on my way to the ocean, let the spirit swallow me.
And what we're gonna do, in essence, is rewrite the song. I'm gonna adapt it so much that it's gonna produce something completely different. Let's say you're looking to write a new chord progression to work with. You could take the chord progression from the song you've chosen, you could change key of it, even if you just need to put a capo on there, that's fine. You could play around with the chords, change the order of them, you could skip chords, add new chords, you could change the length of time you're on each chord for, you could change the tempo of the tune, you can change the rhythm patterns, you could change the time signature, you could change it from a strumming pattern to a picking pattern. There are so many options, and you just play around with things until you find something new that you like. The thing that I was really inspired by in this Ben Kaplan song was the lyrics. Now, when I usually do this, I try and rewrite the source material in a way that it has no resemblance whatsoever. I'll show you how I could have done that. He starts the song with, I went down to the river. So how about, instead of I went to the river, how about I walked to the lookout, or I could have said I run to the edge. Then he goes to, I went to the river, blowing out into the sea, on my way to the ocean. So again, he's got the river, sea and ocean. So I'm thinking edge, view, and why would you be, what is it about the view? I could go, were you just enjoying the scenery? So you could be, I run to the edge just to enjoy the view, taking in the scenery. And now his has a rhyme on the second line and the fourth line, so I could do the exact same, so using it as a guide, as a template. So my second line ends with the word view. I run to the edge just to enjoy the view, taking in the scenery, feeling something new. I mean, that works, and it's nothing like the starting lyrics at all. This time, I decided to do it a little bit differently. I decided to try and keep it a little bit closer to the source material than I normally would. So it'll hopefully be a completely different song, but you might be able to still kind of see where it started and where it ended up. I came up with this little, I suppose you could call it a little poem to start with, just using his source material as a guide. And when I walked to the water, the river looks so clean. I don't know where I'm going, just floating with the stream. Talk to myself about nothing. The water speaks to my soul. I don't know where I'm going. The stream might lead me home. It was probably about 15 minutes, and I had 3 rough verses like this to work with. And I think that is a perfectly good place to start. So now I had something to work with, which is the entire point of this method, is to give you a starting point, give you something that's gonna spark ideas to turn into a song. And that's the next step for me with this. Now, there is no right or wrong way to write a song. Now, some people would never come up with lyrics first. They would just come up with the music first. Some people would actually come up with the melody first and then find lyrics that fit the melody. There's no right or wrong. I'm not saying you have to do what I did here. But what I did now is come up with a chord progression to try and fit these two things together. Now, what I could have done here to come up with a chord progression was go back to the source material and rewrote the chord progression and see if I could come up with something new that I liked. I could have used a completely different song to come up with a chord progression and come up with something totally different and then use that and see if it paired up. But what I actually decided to do was just go really simple. So what I started with was just an E minor chord to a C chord. And that's it. And I just started going around with my walk to the water. So I walk to the water. I thought that worked. And then I decided to go to a G chord. I decided to end it, I'd go to a B7 chord, which leads you back to that E minor chord really nicely to start us off again. And I only did that because I knew that I wanted it to sound a little bit different, add some variation, just something to add a little bit more interest in there. This is the fun part of starting to put the song together, because you've got an initial idea now, something to work with, and this is where you can start really having fun making creative decisions and piecing things together. So what I found was, as I was just playing around with this chord progression and the lyrics, obviously lyrics started to change to fit a bit better, and the melody started to form, which also dictated how the lyrics were going to change. But also I found that as a melody formed, the chord progression didn't work anymore. So I had to change it a little bit. Again, really subtle, really simple, but I changed it from E minor to A minor instead of to the C chord. And it just made it feel so much better. And after a while, I ended up with a few ideas that were working really well. I'll walk with the water, the river looks so clean, and I don't know where I'm going to, just floating with the stream. I talk to myself about nothing, the water speaks to my soul, and I don't know where I'm going to, the stream might lead me home, it might lead me home. I did this kind of thing for all three of the verses, and things started to come together, and I definitely liked what I had, and it was starting to sound like a song. But there is a problem with this method. Because we're not starting this song with a particular meaning in mind, there isn't like a particular thing that we're wanting to say. A song is so much easier to write when you know what the song is trying to say. It gives the song direction, knowing what it's about. I could technically throw something together and finish a song, which is fine, it's an exercise in itself, but if I wanted to write a song that I really was gonna like, I would need to think about what the song is actually saying. The time now was to listen back to it over and over again, read through the lyrics and see if you can find like a glaringly obvious meaning or just some form of thing that the song could be about, and you will be able to find something in there. From listening to it over and over again and from rereading the lyrics a bunch of times, I realised that the song essentially is about the idea of just going with the flow in life can lead you to a lot of fun adventures and things. That it's fine to go with the flow, but just make sure that you're always heading in the right way. And now I could go back and rewrite some of the lyrics in the verses so it kind of tied that all together, and more importantly I could come up with a chorus. Now in my opinion, choruses should really sum up the point of the song very simply in a very concise way, and now I knew what the point of the song was. I could actually come up with a chorus, and it was actually quite simple to write.
You've gotta go with the flow, it might take you home. You've gotta go with the flow, it might take you home. You've gotta go with the flow, it might take you home. You've gotta go.
Because I started this song by steering a bit closer to the source material than I normally would, my song was sounding a bit too much like the Ben Kaplan song for my liking at least. I really did need to try and take every single decision that I've made now and make it go as far away from sounding like his song as I possibly could. So now it was onto the crucial part of the songwriting process, getting the song finished. As I've already said, there is no right or wrong way to write a song, so do whatever works for you. What I did in this case, I structured the song out in my DAW, and then I could start layering things up. And I think I did the drums first, then the bass, I then put an acoustic guitar down, then did electric guitars. I basically recorded just loads and loads of stuff. I took things out and I added more things, again, just adapting things. I was changing the lyrics and even just words in lyrics, changing lines in lyrics, right up until the point where I'd actually finished recording the vocals. And the song was done. Hopefully you can kind of see where this song started and where it ended up. It is a little closer to the source material than I normally would have. The further you can take it away from the source material with the creative decisions that you make while writing the song, the better. And if you need to wait for inspiration to hit before you start writing a song, you're gonna find yourself waiting around more than you are actually going to be practicing the craft of songwriting. We want to get the ball rolling, we want a starting point, we want inspiration. If you use this method, you will be able to come up with something. But this method will not magically produce you a song, because you are the songwriter. You need to develop the skills, and using methods like this, writing songs over and over again, will help you to develop the skills you need to become a songwriter. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.
The water looks so mean, I feel like I am drowning while flowing out to sea. I talk to myself about something